All right, let's go ahead and talk about crypto. So, what are your thoughts on everything? Oh,
Can you hear me? Am I still here?
what are your thoughts on the absolute utter annihilation that is going on in the crypto space? The Voyager thing, CoinFlix, Coinbase, everybody's halting withdrawals. It's just a
It's
mess.
just so hard to predict, Echo my gecko. Okay. So about a year ago, everybody was like, oh, what about Coinbase stock? What about Voyager? And I looked at the companies and they were like profitable. Most of them were like highly profitable. Their revenue was
Yeah,
exploding.
true.
And I was like, okay, what are these companies fundamentally based on? They're fundamentally based on crypto. What's going to happen when crypto goes into an inevitable bear market? They're going to lose all their freaking money. Their profits are going to go away and their revenue is going to decline. And look what happened. Bear market, all these companies are going out of business. They're going bust. It's literally like you go back to before there were like regulations on the banks. All these fake banks are collapsing because they've probably lent out all their deposits, and all the money they lent has probably been lost, and they don't have enough coins or whatever to give back to their depositors. So at some
Yeah,
point, they have to stop withdrawals because they literally don't have the coins to give back to the people. That's how banks work. I mean, banks don't have all the cash that you see in your bank balance. It's not really there. The banks have lent it out. So if everybody goes and rushes the bank and wants
yeah.
all of their money out, the bank literally doesn't have the money. It's the same thing with these crypto brokers.
Yeah, that's called fractional reserve banking, and that's essentially you're right. That's basically what happened with Voyager, which is mind-boggling to me that they would lend that much money out. Like I understand lending people's money out, I get it, but they lent $650 million when you
Well,
don't
they
even.
have to, because here's what you can it's an obvious scam because you can look and see the interest rates.
Yeah,
They're insanely high. So what that tells me is, number one, either it's a massive Ponzi scheme where they're taking new deposits and paying the old depositors, or number two, they're taking massive risks to generate that interest rate. There's no risk-free interest rate. The higher the interest rate, the more risk that you take. So as we're coming to find out, Voyager, for example, they lent money to some stupid crypto hedge fund, 2AC or something like that.
3AC in
Yeah,
Singapore.
3AC. There you go. And
Yeah, in
yeah, that
Singapore.
they were probably paying Voyager like massive interest rates so they could gamble with the borrowed cryptocurrency. And now that this stupid hedge fund has lost all their money,
Yeah,
I mean, Voyager's loan is probably gone. They probably lost it all.
yeah. It doesn't look like they're gonna get that money back. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
disaster. It's just like it's the wild, wild west. It's like, looking, it's like we reverted 100 years into the past before there were like regulations on banks and stuff like that. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
but
So
now yeah,
it's like history repeating itself, kind of.
it is. It's
Yeah.
100%. And then what's going to happen? Well, you look back at the Great Depression. There was like wild speculation. There were no regulations. Then the Great Depression happened. The stock market crash happened. Bunch of regulations came in. That's when the Securities and Exchange Commission was created and all these laws were passed. It's the same thing that's going to happen to crypto. There's going to be massive regulation if this disaster in crypto continues.